Hello, and welcome to the Shadow Dance Edge podcast, where we really are just leaning into our growth edges. And if we could get you to take even just one little tiny step toward your growth edge, toward doing and taking some sort of action this week, then we have totally done our job. I want to share with you this person leading people on personal journeys of self-discovery and transformation. Our guest today is a chakra shaman or sha woman. I don't know. Is that a thing? She's certified in all sorts of healing modalities from Reiki and massage to yoga and Tantra. Her own self-healing journey through serious medical issues, including diabetes and breaking a 40-year nicotine habit, has given her the inspiration and drive to help others achieve their own health goals. I want to welcome to the show, Ronna Kirkland. Yay! And the crowd goes wild.
Thank you for having me. I really appreciate and I'm honored to be here.
So awesome. My pleasure. Okay, I've got to ask because I noticed in your biography you talked about having had a nicotine addiction for like 40 years.
Yes.
Really, you must have been smoking when you were two, because you don't
Eight.
even.
I was eight.
No, I mean you look so young. In the difficulty of challenges of your life, where is that? In like the top three things? Where is that?
Yes. Um, yeah, I would say, yeah, top three for sure. Um, I tried just quitting multiple times, and right now I'm about 2.5 months in. So for my final time, and
Congratulations.
this is different, and I know it's different than the past few times that I've tried. I've tried multiple times over the years. I did quit one time for 2 years on Chantix, which was a medication that I was given. The second time I tried to quit again on that, but it gave me different side effects. And then I was over medications. Then I didn't take medications anymore. I went to more natural lifestyle. So, whereas where I am now. So I wasn't going to quit with medications. Um, well, I did. I did quit with medication, and I had to give myself a little bit of love, extra love for that, because um like I don't believe in taking medicine anymore. I take a more natural path. And when I quit smoking, I took the medicated lozenges that I got behind the counter and the patches. And so I said, for me to overcome this addiction, and I had to keep telling myself it was an addiction, and it was a sickness, and it was an addiction, and I had to get rid of it, and it was toxic, and I just needed to let it release out of my body. And every time, and so this was like a mental and physical thing that I had to overcome. In the past, it was just the medicine just kind of like took the craving away. I didn't think about it. I wasn't around smokers. It was great for 2 years. Then I started dating a smoker, got right back into it. So this time it has to be different, because it's got to be something internal in my brain that I switch to say, I'm not doing this anymore. This is because it's like right now, I still feel like a smoker. I dream about smoking, and it's still kind of it's like the addiction is still there a little bit. So I still overcome it, and every day is a challenge. And I just have to, every moment that I get through, I just have to give myself love and say, you know what? You did it. You didn't go outside today. You didn't smoke today. And yeah, and feel good, and take that as a win.
Yeah, a total win. So, I'm really interested in, like, as I know you've worked with yourself and you've done your own self-healing, have you
Mhm.
been involved in that kind of work most of your life?
I started as I was an Olympic gymnast, so a trainee for the Olympics when I was very young. And then, so after I finished Olympic training, I started coaching gymnastics. So I started helping other gymnasts and teaching with them. And then I used my gymnastics in the strip clubs and became a dancer and stuff. And I loved it. I was performed all over the place and had a great career with it. But I also used my body as for contortion with that too. And then But I also started teaching women how to dance. So I started like I was a decade ahead of my time. They didn't have pole dancing classes at that time. They didn't have any kind of, this was risque. And so I was like, learn the art of exotic dance. I was a dancer and I wanted to teach women how to dance for their husbands at home or that they were coming into the clubs. And so I was like, so I started my own company, and I think that was my first company that I started. Yeah, where I became an entrepreneur, and I started teaching them, and I loved it. But it was real hard for me because I was in Texas, and they were like, I was looking for a place for venues to teach it. So the gyms wouldn't let me do it. The dance studios, I got a couple dance studios that would let me do it. And that's the only, and then I got like some private lessons, and we got to like this one woman was she wanted to do a dance for her boyfriend. And so I got to choreograph it. She felt sexy in her body, and I got to like empower her. And it was so, I loved it so much, and she loved it too. So she got to feel real sexy, and, and it was awesome having that business. And I'm going to start doing workshops more now. It's coming. When I was starting my healing process from healing myself from diabetes, I started doing yoga, and I did a slow yoga, and it was called yin yoga, which is what I preferred because it holded poses, and it was more of a meditative style of yoga. And it started my healing. And then when I started working with chakras, that combining the chakras with the yoga, that's when I really started seeing changes within myself. And I started getting messages that I needed to become an instructor. I needed to teach it. So I signed up to do it in Yosemite, and I love that I did that. It was a great experience. I got my 200-hour yoga teacher training. And it was amazing. And it was a hard experience. I'm not gonna lie. That was like some difficult stuff, getting into my own stuff and staying up late. And it was a hard experience, but I'm so glad I did it. And then I had some private lessons and stuff where I would really see growth within people. And it was I got to see their experiences and their spiritual awakenings, their messages. And it was amazing to be a part of that too.
I noticed that you light up every time you talk about your witnessing of other people's like spiritual awakenings or growth or healing. I
Yes.
and also notice you're so passionate about what you do. It feels to me like I'm sensing that you just naturally gravitate toward opportunities that may not have existed before, but you find a way to just be able to jump in and serve where you feel like you're needed. Would you say that's true about yourself?
I guess I would. I never saw it like that, but yeah.
Because it sounded like that's what was happening around all these teaching experiences you've been finding yourself in lately.
Yeah.
Could you kind of describe to me the type of person that you would love to work with?
I would definitely love to work with people that want to change their lifestyle, that want to go deeper within themselves to heal themselves, um, and are open to connecting and balancing their body with their mind, with their soul, and feeling energies and becoming more spiritual, and between their body, their mind, and their soul, they want to connect that and improve on their quality of health through that way. Um, hmm.
What
So,
what challenges do they all have in common? Like if you could name like one big challenge.
I think I would say finding time for themselves, and dedicating that time for just like, even if it's not with me, and it's just like 20 minutes a day to get on your yoga mat and maybe just do a little stretching, a little thinking, and just a little time to yourself. That's all you really need is to focus on. But I would love to help people like stay accountable for doing that in person, or through a video, or whatever, and trying to help them heal. And it doesn't have to be anything specific. I mean, they can have whatever. I mean, I've suffered from anxiety to depression to, anything that that you want to kind of heal from.
Yeah. Yeah. Um, do you have any like major challenges on your horizon right now, or is everything flowing really easy?
No, I have some major challenges. Like I'm really nervous to turn the video camera on. So like to make a video, and I have these wonderful backgrounds, and I did it, and then there's something happened. Like the video got disturbed, and I never got to go back to it, and so I never got to do it again. I did it. I made the video. I was like, yes, I did it. And then at the end of it, like there was a knock on the door, and they're like, someone's at the door for you. So I'm like, okay, I'm gonna have to redo this video. It wasn't the right one. So, but yeah, and plus I'm still kind of trying to find my style, I think. And that's kind of like a struggle for me, because I like a little bit of this and a little bit of that, and I like to kind of mix it up and make it my own. And so I'm kind of learning what that is.
Yeah, I hear that can get very discouraging when you're like, it's so perfect, and then all of a sudden at the end something happens and it's like, ah. But are you able to like go in and do it and then splice in a new ending or anything like that?
Okay, technical difficulties. You know how I am with technology. I was 10 minutes late to this because I couldn't even get on this call. So, I'm learning a lot of different new things. Right now, my audio is giving me problems because I have this really fancy, like, headset that is wireless that goes to the video camera. And I have not been able to get that thing to work yet. So that's the first technical difficulty. The second thing is, yeah, once I get the video out there, I'm going to have to learn how to do the video editing, or I'm just going to go, you know what? F it. This is the way I am. This is my authentic self. Take it or leave it. Love me like I am.
I vote for that. I vote for that one because I'm with you on that. Technical difficulties does not make me a happy camper. I would rather like give up, grab a beer, go to bed, like the deal with technology when it's having issues. But to me, my end goal is so important. Being able to get my word out there and change lives is so important. And I think you and I have that in common. And I would love to know, for when people are just so frustrated with everything going wrong in what they're attempting to put out in the world, what would be a really good thing for us to do, keep in mind, to be able to move through that frustration and move forward?
Well, I mean, I used to smoke a cigarette, and I don't do that anymore. So, sometimes I'll take a break, I'll get a drink, I'll go for a walk, I'll do something different, I'll walk away from the situation, and then I'll come back. In this case, when I'm on a time crunch, I ask for help when needed. Um, and a lot of times I do ask for help from people that I find that are more advanced in the issue than I am. Like my daughter-in-law's boyfriend is helping with the headset thing. The kids are way more technical, and they're so good with technology that I am so inspired by them. And with them physically showing me and helping me, it helps me that way too. Of course, I might do some more research on YouTube, like everyone tells me, but
I heard take a break, get
take a
yourself
break,
out of this situation. I heard ask for help,
breathe, breathe.
breathe. And
Yeah.
I heard like look for role models, look for mentors.
I also get within my body too. Like I will take like a little yoga break. I'll stretch, or I'll do some kind of, sometimes I'll look at it from a different perspective. I'll say, you need to see this from a different perspective, and I'll go upside down. So I'll like maybe I'll go down and reach for my toes and grab I'll do an upside down pose, and I'll be like, okay, how can I see this differently? And I also have an inversion bend.
An
Or
inversion, you have an inversion bed. So
a bench.
a bench, okay.
Yeah. So
You
yeah.
go, you go upside down, you kind of see the world from a different perspective, probably feel the world from a different perspective. Lots of
Yeah.
blood flowing to the brain. That's actually not a bad idea. Having blood flow to the brain probably causes you to think different. Um, yeah, I love all of that. And I'm one of those lone wolf people. I sometimes have a hard time remembering that I even have the option to ask people for help. So I appreciate that you reminded me about that. That was really good. And of course, breathing, going all the way back to the breath, super important. One more question before we end today. So I want to know, if you knew that failure was not an option and you had all the resources you need, all the support you need, um, what would you choose to do and get done this week?
Hmm. Make a video for sure.
Yay! Very awesome. So, is there a question that I can ask myself, like kind of a way to to check in with myself? What do you recommend?
Go back to gratefulness. Like, what are things that you love? Things that make you happy, that make your soul shine, things that you're passionate about, like what you were asking. And do a body scan, and also check in with yourself. Does my body need to rest? Do I need to take a bath? Maybe I just need a bath to myself, with some soft music, shave my legs, make myself feel better, and give myself some self-love, you know? And or um, maybe it's a nap. Maybe you need a nap.
I vote for
Or
the nap.
maybe you need a piece of cake, something, give yourself a little love and be okay with it. And you don't, you are right where you need to be, and go with the flow, and the universe will provide.
Is there anything you else want to share with our audience before we go?
I think I had to learn how to put myself first. And, um, and I think that I think sometimes we're conditioned to take care of others first before we take care of ourselves. And it's so important to take care of ourselves and to make the time to devote to ourselves. And it's the key to living your best life.
Hey, thank you again for being with me today and sharing your wisdom and your journey. And I really want to say that I appreciate you. And
Oh,
yeah, thank you so much.
thank you.
That was Ronna Kirkland, and she is amazing. And if you want to follow her on Instagram, just check out her Instagram below.